Hello and welcome to the Overprepared DM after game chat on YouTube. Hello! We just completed game 2 and 3, so we wanted to talk about it a little bit. We've had a lot go on, and also not a lot go on.
It was so much.
It's still the same day.
It is still the same day. 3 games in one day, isn't it?
No, it's not.
When you
We're
did
wearing
say
different
that,
clothes.
That's
It's not the
true.
same at all.
In-game, Poncho.
In-game.
when you said it was
Leaking our
like, it's 1
strats,
a.m. the
come
same
on.
day, I was like, we've really been doing. It's one day. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
We've been
Yeah,
in
you
this
guys
town
haven't slept
for
yet.
12 hours, maybe.
You're about to sleep.
Oh, are we?
Are
Oh,
we?
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm about.
Brainy is.
I got
So-
a knife at me.
You do have a knife at you.
Well,
But I
there's too much
also have
hustle and bustle. Like, none of us are technically asleep yet. So as long as we're not,
By the time that the knife was
completely
to the
oblivious.
knife, everyone
It was
was at
like
the
an hour
end of their sleep.
45.
Granny is definitely out.
Granny
having
is
rest.
definitely
Oh.
asleep.
And if you would have gone to sleep in the 2 hours or so that you've been in your room, then I would say that you are asleep for sure. But we'll handle that next game.
Yeah. only thing is, like,
The only
I think
reason I
with
know I'm
Ayer's
not.
bath,
You think with Ayer's bath?
I'm not. Yeah, I don't think I'm asleep because that bath
That
took
might have taken
forever.
a long time. That is
That's
true
fair.
with
Yeah.
the flower, but
Totally fair.
Emmy is
It's not like just I got it
definitely
in my hair. I am
Kanna.
hair. I am hair.
Mhm.
And like if it hit all of us, that means that my forearms down on both arms, my knees down on both legs, and all of my face got covered in flour.
Love this. So excited. So, we started the game 2 off with you guys splitting into groups of 3? Excuse
I know
me?
it's your
Excuse
favorite
me?
thing to do,
I have an
right?
entire podcast about how you shouldn't do that, and they said we're not splitting twice, but 3 ways. It's okay.
I was
tried
trying
to
to
make it
think of
work
how
as
we were
best as
going to do it
possible.
all.
I tried to make it work as best
in
as
a day.
possible so that you guys all had speaking time. So I hope you felt like you did.
I felt
No,
like
that
you
was- it
handled
was
it
perfect.
as well as you could.
Good.
Plus it's realistic to make it where like even though we're all doing different tasks, like realistically our lists, even if we were in a single group doing a single task, our list was still too long for even 5 people to complete.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is true. But in the 3 groups, you all did different things. I want to know what Mandy and Austin, what do you guys think of of Mary, the
I
apothecary?
love her. I
So
love everything about her.
you haven't played this yet, but I'm getting rainy vibes from Elden Ring when you were
Oh.
describing her, because she has a really big
Is
hat
she the
and
big
she like
hat lady?
yeah. That's sort of what I was envisioning when you were
That is what
describing
I was
her at
also
first.
envisioning.
I
Um,
was envisioning my own Baldur's Gate character because she is a drow and she's kind of purpley and she's got white markings and I love.
I love it.
I want her outfit. I want to know all about that
Everything.
situation.
I
'cause
love the massive hat so that she could avoid the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I feel like she's. I don't know how common it is really, but you said she's wearing sort of a Victorian outfit,
Mm-hmm.
and that's sort of the vibe that Granny
Yeah.
goes with.
Mhm.
She tries to stay on trend, but she also still like, kind of likes that structured
Yeah.
look to an outfit. So she's like, "Damn, I
Well,
want to
I'm
know."
curious if it's popular. I guess Emmy wouldn't know, but I'm curious because like wasn't the librarian kind of wearing similar
she was
styles?
also wearing a similar style, yeah.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Style, but not quite as elegant.
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
But the mixing of potions is
So
super
cool.
cool, and I was like, I have to just say like never mind and come back later because there's
Yeah.
too many
There's
combinations.
a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think that most of them would be best on a healing potion, which is what we needed at the time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think it'd be better to combine like a perception and a invisibility potion
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
things that tie together. Not that you can't just like take 2 potions, but
Right.
sometimes you need to take it in 1 second.
Yeah.
Like you need a feather fall and something else
It
right
could
then.
also be mid-initiative order, and that could take an entire
Right.
2 actions to take both of those things.
Right.
So-
like
Oh my
it
gosh, that'd be
saves time.
rough.
I'm curious if I didn't ask, but I want to know next time we talk to her if she can combine healing potions into like condense them essentially, or if that is just how you make better healing potions. I don't really know.
I guess you'll have to ask her.
Yeah.
I'm curious if Kanna even has hers.
You guys never gave them
no.
to me.
Not
I
yet.
don't. Yeah, I don't think I
I
would have given
didn't-
it to you.
I didn't give
No one
you.
said anything about it.
Forgot to give you yours. Everyone else
I
has
was waiting
theirs.
to have private hangout time.
I think that I probably would have
It all
given
happened
Emmy
so fast.
the one for Kanna.
Yeah,
Because you
I
have the
figure I had
invisibility
that one and the
ones.
invisibility ones. Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
think
my
I'd hold
own.
on to that.
Mhm.
Mary is a self-insert. She's a character that I played in like 2012.
Love that.
Love
She
her.
is not a vampire in this game, but she became one in that game. And it was a very interesting, fun game. But yeah, she was very, very interested in the things that she was doing. But she was an artificer. A potion creating artificer. So I always add my characters that I've played as shop owners. So if you
Yeah.
Oh,
think
that's
they're
fun.
particularly interesting, I might have played them before. It's the way that I get to also play.
Yeah. No, I get that.
No, she's great.
Thanks.
Great, great, great.
And then thanks. I thought Koresh was really interesting for me today because you hooked onto something like a side quest that I created. So I was like, it's happening. So what did you think of that? And like the underground market and like learning about how like there's illegal sales and things that are a problem here in the town.
I
Also,
love
Secret
it
Riz.
because like that
Also Secret
I am always the type that I feel like I'll play games and someone will make a comment about something and my brain jumps onto it and it's like I start building things up and then like I hear that like, oh yeah, no, that was just a side off. That meant fuck all. But like this was the like one of the first times where I like followed a path and was like, oh shit. This is actually something going on
There's a
here.
thing here. Yeah. No, I try to make the world feel lived in, that your quest that you're on is not the only thing going on in the world. And I try so hard. And you guys can just go down these paths and do those things and eventually, I don't know, find the underground market, things like that. Like, that would be really interesting. Not the overarching plot of the current game, but still a fun side thing. So, I hope it felt that way.
It was so much fun because the first episode I had a problem because I'm trying to play a character who around new people he's uncomfortable. Like a lot of the times the way to display that is to not talk. So
Yeah.
like after that first episode I was like, okay, how do I still display someone who's uncomfortable with this group and uncomfortable in certain situations and yada yada yada. And like it was nice to be able to be like, okay, here's at least an in-game moment where while it's not with the group fully, I can kind of still get to play this character a little bit more of the idea and whatnot.
More
And
Riz.
yeah. Always there is. I got none in real life, so I'm gonna put it all into a game.
I love it.
I think the one thing that was funny for me with Oighear is that, like, one of his character traits is that he is excited to see the world, but everything is second to home. But when I rolled that 94 on the fish, I was like, well, that idea out the window, because apparently they love this fish to death. And then when I did the 95 for the fucking cat food, I'm like, I'm at this point, I don't know why it's like bad for you, bud. Like, you're not supposed to like this stuff.
You've discovered the potato chips of your diet.
We did.
I also love that it was fish and cat food. I was like, oh my god, I'm being written to a stereotype hole. That's why I was like, let me just embrace it. Like the first thing I wanted to embrace was like, I'm kind of good. So I was like, okay, revolving door. Like no one in their right mind, in any form of the chaos, would see a revolving door and be like, I'm just going to enter in. Like, no. Spin, 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 spin. And then I also want to like, I'm also just having fun just like giving them more like cat-like moments because again, like the regality of them is a facade. So like having the moment where like they went on Koresh like as like a grumpy cat just like on the shoulders like just like letting their silliness come out here and there. Like I this time was a lot more opportunity for that part, so that way they can like evolve from somebody who's just like I don't know any of you to like I'm comfortable around all of you.
I think it was cute.
I love the idea that Tabaxi gets zoomies. That's all I could think of.
I love the attachment of Oighear to Koresh. What is it, Koresh?
Yeah.
To Koresh, because it is very like it is cat, where they're gonna pick the person that seems like they are not interested at them whatsoever, and that's the person that they're gonna go rub up on. It's just if you're too excited for the cat, they're not coming to you. And so it was like that pairing made so much sense, but also it gives Koresh this opportunity to warm up to things because it's kind of like forced upon you, but also Oighear's precious, so you can't be fully mad.
Because like I'm trying to like I'm trying to make sure to give everyone like my attention. That's why like I wanted Oighear to go with Kanna because I was just like thinking about it. I was like, well, me and Sai's character haven't really had a lot of interaction, which for the story to unfold needs to happen. We need to like investigate different things. I was just like, let me take this one opportunity to put Oighear in a different spot because personality wise goes great with Granny and with Emmy. The dichotomy of like the like rabbit gremlin ice child and the big tall silent type already like it's a done deal that's been as old as time. But I was just like I really need to like get myself out of that zone and then get me into a space with Kanna so then I can feel like what the dichotomy of their characters would be, which is just like Kanna who's just like super spy and I'm over here just like I'll trip to the finish line. I really don't mind.
Yeah. No, it was really cool, and that's a really good thing to do as a player, which I appreciate, is being very, like, I'm open to moving around and, like, A and B plots, but, like, all the characters shift around every episode of a show, and you get to see the different dynamics between each of the pairings. So I appreciate that. I thought that was really good to do. Oighear and Kanna going to meet the Gregory in the apartments. Thoughts, feelings? You guys hurt that man's
wife
feelings.
was more intimidating. I was like, sorry for bothering you, ma'am. Please don't hurt me. Because like Oighear's also supposed to be very awkward around humans more specifically because of like the idea of that they come from. Well, even though like the Tabaxi have a civilization, their civilization is still very like traditional. Like they hunt for everything. There is no like commerce per se. They trade, but they do not they don't have commerce within themselves. By what I've researched with them, is very much like here's the lion's share. Everyone gets to take a piece equivalently because that's just how everything works.
Yeah.
So to like, I needed to make sure like that. I went into a situation where I'm dealing with an angry mom of two. Like, it is something that is just so alien to Oighear, where they're just like sitting there just like genuinely like, what do I say to this person? I've never had to deal with this before. Because like, yeah, so like up to this point they were doing odd jobs. So they're like going to somebody, asking for a job, getting the job done. There is no interaction because again, they're like, because I want to like handicap them in that point where I can think about like challenge myself to think about like, okay, they have no way of dealing with this. How do I want them to deal with it? So I challenge myself to actually create the character, not like, oh, well, 2 years ago they talked to another mom. So it's just something like that. Like, no, like I have to challenge myself.
Yeah, I like it. That's fun. I also enjoyed that bribery didn't work. I rolled for it.
That was, I think, a huge defining moment for Kanna, even though it may seem super small, because up until this point, Kanna has gotten off pretty easily with bribing people and taking advantage of people. And there's never really been a lot of moments where offering coin to someone that is well above their potential current pay grade has not immediately really swayed them. And so I think an example that Kanna hasn't seen a ton of since being here is like valuing your family and your pride and using that more so as a guiding post rather than like being selfish and what you want and money and greedy things, because that's kind of like what she knows. At least that's what she knows about what people think and how people act. So this was like a pretty big defining moment for her to fail at bribing somebody. And the reason is because they have more pride than that. And so Kanna was like, I gotta learn how to. I gotta learn a little more. I'm not quite as slick as I thought. And then even like what happened later.
I found Kanna's struggling really funny this like episode, and I find it funny because like our conversation that we had when we decided our characters were gonna know each other, and kind of we little role played a little bit through traveling, you know, off of any recordings, and it was like Emmy not knowing as much about things, and you're like, okay, but like you don't want people to know that you have money, and you don't want to do these certain things that put you at risk, and like you need to protect yourself and you need to be careful and be like more conservative with things. But then Kanna's literally going rogue and doing the things that you told me not to do, kind of thing. And it's almost like it's just funny for me as a player because it's like not following your own advice.
It's
type
so
of deal.
I also thought it was funny when Kanna went straight to charm person, because this is the first time in a while that I have not played a bard, so it felt like home, if it makes sense, to like be like, I'm not gonna interrogate charm person. It's like tell me what I want because I want it. Like I'm not doing all this step and dance. Like
and
I
the
was
charm
just like,
person was. It was because I don't have calm emotions. And so that was the reason I wanted to charm them wasn't to take advantage of them necessarily. It was to kind of calm them down and make them more willing to just like have a conversation with us. And I figured that would be the best way to kind of approach this, since he was clearly already sensitive about losing the job.
The wife.
I should have lied to him and said that we were here to give him his job back. We just needed him to kind of talk to us again.
See, like
in hindsight, I was like, I should have lied to him. I should have just said yes.
Things you could do.
Also, this clearly being everyone's first NDA except for Emmy.
I have not told anyone either.
That every single person except 2 of you have said something about the quest is so
we'll be
funny
honest. That wasn't even Oighear slipping up about the NDA. That was like the pilot slipping up because I forgot. When everyone said no, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We're not supposed to talk about it.
My favorite mistake of the episode, my favorite like character mistake of the episode was Kanna saying it to Marjorie. And then I rolled a 23, which is insane for a regular person.
Like, just a person.
They're just a person. They're not even like a class.
But again, like, that's why I feel like it's just Oighear's just complete, like, dopiness just rubbing off on Kanna, because, like, and I feel like in any other situation, Kanna would just be level-headed and remember the NDA, but because Oighear let it slip, Kanna was just like, oh, guess the cat's out of the bag. Oh, wait, no, the cat's very much in the bag.
It was because Kanna assumed that the person who was involved with this whole instance would have been aware.
That's fair.
Fair enough. I would have thought
happened.
so too.
And Kanna was not aware that when they said like literally no one knows, they meant not even like the people involved who hired the adventuring party knew about this. And I'm like, off table, I'm like, why the hell would they not know that?
Yeah, I mean, it
what the heck?
I can see the like deer in the headlights moment that you had when she was just like, what? And you're like, what do you mean what?
Oh, instant, I fucked up. I shit the bed. This is so bad. And then the hindsight of, I should have knocked her out. I should have like grabbed her and knocked her out. She's a person. What could she have done? I should have like knocked her out and then just made it seem like she fell asleep.
I'm interested to
explain the MO of what the criminals did.
Right?
Right.
We're
gonna find out how this happened as Kanna goes through with the intrusive
But
thoughts.
Yeah.
I had to just be like, shit. I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass, because Kanna is so used to getting away with shit. And so in these moments where Kanna is not getting away with shit are like creating true moments of character development where she's like, I'm not as fucking slick as I thought I was.
I'm level 3.
I'm level 3.
But then is still ready
Level 3.
to potentially pick a fight alone.
I made a backup. I made a backup precaution.
That's true.
I did. I have a backup precaution on someone who I think is tough as shit. Kanna likes Koresh.
Also, Koresh could like
It's gonna
literally
be
wake us all
heartbroken.
up, because I know that we're sleeping, but Koresh could literally just like bang on the door,
Yeah.
wake me up, bang on all the other doors, and then go out. And then depending on how we decide our characters will get out of bed, we'll get out there. Which Ire again is even though
so
they're a
excited.
sorcerer, they are still a hunter. So I feel like that if that's the direction we do take it, like they would be like immediately up, like what happened?
Yeah.
'Cause this is
Let's
like-
see what happens. I'm excited.
I can guarantee you, depending on how urgent that message gets to him, will determine if it's a like, oh fuck, get down here. He's running.
I was.
I just want to throw ice knives at people.
Oh my goodness. One other thing
He
that
has to know I have friends.
that I thought was really interesting was another Kanna moment where you decided to go to the library by yourself, and the librarian asked you what you needed like 4 times. It was so funny to me that you were going through all of these hoops. So at the end, I made her sassy.
She is my favorite and like side character ever.
The way that I didn't have a name for her, so I said her name is
I
librarian.
know. I was like, we met librarian.
We met the librarian. The librarian.
No, that was great. I was like, okay.
No one asks the librarian's name. It's like asking the cashier's name.
But if
But
you ask people their
alas.
name, they're more willing to help you and
Yeah.
be on your side, or at least be more giving
Yeah,
in a situation, because you at least care to even know their name, which is a courtesy not a lot of people take.
that's true. That is true. What'd you think of my Sims cow plant?
I love it.
I saw you post that. I was like, yay!
I think I would have got bodied.
Oh, totally.
I think I would have been bodied by that plant,
Oh,
and I
totally.
would know. There's no way I was
especially
getting
once
it.
It grew
Once it grew
12
taller, I
feet
was like,
tall.
that's a cow plant.
Nope.
It was giant.
If there was
Seagull.
something, yeah. If there was something remotely like relevant to what Kanna was looking for, then I would have still mage hand to try and grab a book to see if I would have been able to slip by it. No guarantees. Who knows? I did do it, but I saw the plant became 12 feet tall. I looked at my list of spells and I went,
No.
I think the downside for Kanna in this situation where we're surrounded by so much magic right now is that your thievery / roguishness relies on magic, but we're in like magic capital USA where everything is
Yep.
so strong that like normally I'm assuming you would just be like, I'm opening any lock because it's a regular lock.
Right.
And it doesn't
Yeah.
like I've got magic, I can do all these things, but I think the level 3 really shows when you're in the environment of like grand wizards and stuff
Yeah.
that have created these
You can just
places.
make magic locks out of spells and things like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
it is a huge reality check for Kanna, which I tip my hat to Jen on
I
this
like that
one.
it shows Kanna's like lack of trust.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a big lack of trust.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Making
the
everything
librarian.
harder.
I just love the librarian was just like having the time of their life at the situation where like I love that you made her sassy because the whole time she's just like,
toying with Kanna.
What do you need help
Yeah,
with?
I was
I
like,
can get you what you
she
need.
not realize.
Toying with
My
Kanna.
favorite part was like when he pulls out the key that matches the lock perfectly.
Gives
That
it to
part for
me.
me, it was
He
so
literally
sad.
gives
She's
it to
just
you.
like,
Gives it to me.
Yeah, no, it was highlighting your distrust, being like, you're in a public library, ask for these things. It was just really funny to me.
literally, like, because the reason I was muting the mic is because I was screaming at the top of my lungs, like, clock that T! Clock her T! You clocked her! You got her! Snatch her wig! There's the lock!
Another thing I really
Was
enjoyed.
it Austin that said, "I hope it's a bathroom"?
Yes, I was like,
Yeah,
it would
in
be
the
so funny if
Discord.
she opened
Yeah,
the
I was
door
cracking up.
and it was just a bathroom
Just a
or
bathroom?
something.
Private bathroom for
Oh,
employees.
that'd
or
be so
something.
funny.
Customer only bathroom, you need to ask the password before going in.
You have to get the key with the like giant book
Yep.
attached to it so that you can't steal it.
Yeah. My,
It's the hall pass.
Mhm.
I think my favorite thing is, I mean, you guys are going off to Viston the following day, if you live, of course. And then, like, adventuring forth, but I'm so fascinated that you all, as players, are, like, trying to solve the mystery as well. I think that's very cool, because that's not what you were hired for. You were hired to find
Right.
the stuff that's gone. So,
I
being
don't
so
ever said it,
investigative...
but Emmy's mind is, isn't our job just to recover it?
Yep.
Like, that's, like,
But
That's
being
it.
so like investigative and so curious is very cool for me. And I really, really enjoyed like you guys in the hotel room, essentially like just escape rooming. Like it was very cool. Like the dialogue and everyone having input. I thought that was very cool because you all were respectful of each other as players as well. Just being like, here's your idea, here's why that wouldn't work or would work, and let's test this. And I just think that was very cool. And there's no reason that I could have interrupted you because like it's like midnight at a hotel room. Like how many times do people get interrupted? So I just let it go, and I hope that was good for everyone too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot of fun because, especially at least from Kanna's perspective, Kanna hates doing stuff without having information.
Mm-hmm.
And so if Kanna's going to go stick her nose into something that is probably way above our heads, which I think we're starting to realize that the people who could have possibly gotten away with this have access to way stronger magic than I think most of us are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to know as much as possible. We need to know like who we're up against. And at least in Kanna's mind, the more we know, the better. And so taking that time to be as equipped as possible, sure, yeah. Let's take it. I'm not gonna go die. If I'm gonna die, at least be informed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least, know what you were up against. It's not like you just blindly went in.
No, I think testing the flower was very funny. It was a good segue for me to include what I wanted to at the end.
Yeah.
So it was great. What do you guys think of the last two games? Enjoyable? Would you have wanted to add more or anything additional that you felt you could do?
I want to
know
fight
there's-
this tiefling. I want to know who the hell they are.
Parts of like mystery and humor, like that's the part that gets me like keeps me like very like invested because I'm like thinking about because I literally have scatterbrain. It's very hard for me to like stay focused on a thing for more than enough time, which is why like even on my own daily life I have to like have music on while something's playing just so I like reduce the attention deficits down to one so I can focus on the one thing. So having the humor part and the serious part allows me to do the improv and how I'm going to make another funny bit while also thinking about the actual story and what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking about like, okay, so where would they have it and where would the camp be and how do they use the powder? But how am I going to tease Kanna next? And Emmy like spending money. How are we going to do that next? Where was the thing again? We were doing sleeping powder. Like that's like it keeps me going and going where I'm just like in this revolution. And being able to like keep thinking about what I'm doing here so I don't like reach that this is what I'm doing next and I just like space out.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I also think that or Thicky in general, you did like a really creative use of your spell. of making snow.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see you do that again in the future. Also, cleaning up the floor and making sure that Emmy's clothes were clean is like polite and sweet.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I like it. I
Because that's
like
what-
it.
That's
I'm
so
also like
sweet.
using a lot of the off time to like, I'm looking at like what the exact verbiage of. So if you see this is my D&D Beyond because it's all white. So I'm trying to like read the verbiage directly so I
Yeah.
could think about like, okay, so I have like natural cold affinity because that's how I wrote my character.
Yeah.
Like I have Ray of Frost where I could do shape water from a distance, freeze it to make shapes. I have Ice Knife, which can be more explosive because even if it misses, it blows up. So I could use that with shape water to then create like walls or block off doors. So I'm like trying to like actually like think about like what can I do, and that's what led me to the thing about like I can shape water, and part of shape water is that I have the ability to freeze it but not boil it. So I was just like, I can literally craft ice at will. So
Yeah.
like if we need to like duplicate a key, all I have to do is shape the water around the key, freeze it, and then we have a key. If we need to like make an impression of something or a handprint or whatever, I could literally like water it. Like I'm just trying to like think about like Oighear has all this ability of just snow and water or ice and water, and I have to think about how being creative outside of the box is, because going forward I am going to try to keep them as to that element
Yeah.
as possible for their lore. So since I'm not going to be getting fire spells and thunder spells and all these other spells, I have to be like a little bit more creative, which is fun because because even with my bard kit free, like when I made them, their whole thing is they're fire genasi, but I gave them all these other spells by making their second class warlock. So like I was able to take away their weaknesses. I want to keep Oighear's weaknesses. Because the thing I did with Kid Free is that what I did when I was a warlock is I made a pact with denizens of hell when we were in Avernus, so my fire never goes out. So the weakness of if my fire goes, like Charmander, where if the fire goes out, I die, I took that away, and my DM was like, I fucking regret allowing you to do that shit because now you're unkillable because you have all this health, all this healing, and your flame can't go out, so I have no way to kill you. He ascended that character so fucking fast. He's just like, put that shit in the bench.
That's so funny.
Wait until I get to high level crap. So I want to avoid trying to do like sneaky shit like that by just making a character what it was level 1, which is an ice cat wizard.
Yeah, I think that's super fun. I'm very excited about everyone's growth and change over
I
time.
think flaws are fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big agree.
So much more interesting
What was
for character development.
what was everyone's favorite part? If you had a favorite part.
Anna. All from start to finish.
Nice,
That whole
nice.
arc.
Love it. We love when
This
people
is
get
a rough
highlighted
day.
moments. A rough day.
It was a rough
conversation.
day for your girl.
What about you?
I-
But
Andy?
it was the drama and the
Oh.
tea. It was
trying to
all the
think.
tea.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I like the waitress.
Oh yes.
I like
yes.
Eliza and her whole long ass name. And I also like the whole I don't know, I enjoyed piecing together the stuff for the circus.
Yeah, totally. I thought that was super
Just
fun.
that whole thing. Yep.
And if you guys never asked about that, you wouldn't have known any of it, which I think is super fun too.
That I'm so glad that Koresh went back in to talk to the guards, because like Granny's not gonna talk to them, and I don't know that really any of us would have even been able to talk to them on their level, really. Like physically, they're not going to talk to us because we're not. I don't know. But I think Koresh, even though you're more than just meat man. You're able to play them basically.
Meat Man has feelings.
Yeah.
Man has feelings.
So it was great that you went in there because they didn't know a lot about what was going on with our side of things, but we got a couple of important things for our mystery that we don't have to solve, but are. And the same thing with Kanna's like slip up thing. It didn't matter necessarily that the guy didn't want to be bribed, because you still were able to get the information that we needed. We still managed to have enough to piece it together.
Yeah, totally.
I have two favorite moments because one of them is above table with Mandy realizing that the character's just been walking around with a half-naked orc this entire time.
Yeah. Wait, you don't have a shirt on?
Such a good epiphany.
And then like 2 is kind of like the end going into a fight because I'm really excited because I don't know. I've put little secrets fully of Koresh's powers, and like I'm sure people who play D&D maybe have an idea more of what my full character is, but I don't know when that full power will be unleashed and if this fight is when that will happen or not. Because Squid and I were talking before we started recording that it's like Koresh doesn't know how that'll be accepted and stuff like that, and all these other questions where it's like, I don't know if I trust this group enough yet to do everything.
I do like you. I like that you did call us out on not
The
knowing each
very
other.
beginning
Mhm.
of episode 2.
Like, we're
It's
just
because,
gonna be okay that we're going to travel together, not knowing each other at all? Great.
It's like
wonderful.
both that double-edged sword of D&D where like I'm so here for like, screw it, you're a group, you don't fully need the reasoning to like just go play the game, have fun. But then there's always like the little bit of moments of like, we just agreed to go on a journey together and we don't know anything. Like we just played volleyball. That's the most bonding we've had this entire time.
I like that you did it because I don't think my character would do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like yours made the most sense.
Can
to
I
do
ask Concho a question above, like out of character, as far as just like between players? What do you think? What do you think Koresh's response or like internal response is to Kanna's like response to your initial like? So we're just okay with this, and Kanna responded with, "Yeah, it's a job. Like this is what it is." What does Koresh think about that? Like, is that something I get to do now, or
I don't want to get too much into it because that's actually really funny. Because that's part of a little bit of his backstory and his reasoning for being there. So you literally said probably the best thing in that moment to make him feel okay about continuing on.
all right, all right, cool. I won't press you on it. I was just curious. I was like, what was that interaction like for Koresh? So
It was literally the best thing you could have said in the moment. It was insane how it was almost infuriating. Like, God damn it. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Nikki, what was your favorite part? I know you said, you said Kanna the entire
my-
time.
Yeah, yeah, like the entire, like the whole thing, because like, I mean, I am a connoisseur of TLC shows.
Connoisseur.
Yeah, connoisseur. Oh my god. So like the whole drama of that, like our little side quest was hilarious. I loved that. Like the library thing was. That librarian will live rent free in my
Identity
head
theft is not a
for about
joke.
4 days.
Yeah, the shape change reveal.
Oh, yeah.
Like
The
that was
what?
just
Your
the
shape
funniest.
change.
The shape change reveal. You
That you,
The audience
that you
shape.
did not do in front of any other person, which I love.
Right. Although you're currently someone else outside, but I think differently.
it was
maybe.
a disguise
But-
kit,
Right. So that one's different.
but none of you saw the disguise kit either.
Because and now my favorite part is also just as like getting my character like in the spot that I want them with the group. The Tabaxi are very close knit because they are a clan system.
Yeah.
So even though I are like, it has the awkward moments where it's almost like a language barrier moments. They still do, like, I think I'm trying at least to show where they kind of miss home and they want the familiarity. So like when they like eat certain foods or treat people a certain way, it's just a very much like a desire to be like, you are now my pack. And the moment, the job moment for Koresh was the book in the first episode, because the first thing was like Granny and I are having the moment with the book where they're just like, let's just have fun as a group and order everything on the menu.
Yeah.
Like that was the moment where like it was just like, okay, so I could have Ira having a reason already to like these people because the eccentric part of them came out, and it was an immediate like, you're a weird. You're like, my people. Thank you. Plus, it's just like it's a fun city because then I can be chaotic and do revolving door things. And then
I was thinking Game of Life when Jen said it had a little clicker.
Yeah, that's
On
kind of
top,
what
I
I
was
was
thinking
trying
like
to
the Game of
turn
Life spinner.
with the spinner with the tab in it that goes.
Yeah.
It could be like a jackpot
Just
spinner.
counting to
or-
100.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my other favorite thing, my favorite dynamic between all the characters right now is the dynamic between Granny and Emmy, because it's almost like wise grandmother who's like not seen it all, but like is like very level, and then the like eccentric granddaughter who's just like, Daddy got me a platinum card, let's go spend money. This is very much just like. Granny's like starting to feel young again, being around all of this youth, while Emmy's just out there just like, and that and more of these and one of those.
I think it's partially like Emmy is sort of what Granny would have been if things were different for her.
Yeah.
Like that she sees a lot of her in Emmy. It's just easy to like relate to her. And she loves to shop, and you know,
That's
she's
an
got
easy
good
thing to
fashion
bond with.
taste. So
I would say if no one knew the physicality of Granny and Emmy, it would be very easy. If someone said like draw these characters, I feel like it'd be very easy for somebody to think that they are actually related and draw them similar because of how well they mesh together. And that's what I just love. And the fact that they are not they're completely different races, and they just met like during this, but they are already like building that like to the point where like the Granny was like, here's the arm. I know it's gonna happen. Let's go. Like, it's so sweet. I just love it.
I love it. I think
Emmy's
you guys
brother
are so
is a
great.
cat, so who knows?
That's
We
true.
could be relating.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat food part.
That was
okay.
so funny. I love that.
My least favorite, my most favorite part too would be the cat food thing, because I was just like, can I please like stop making a stereotype of Marvel? That 95. I was like, no.
Nope, you're stereotyping
No.
into kitty cat. I love
I
it.
feel so bad
Nice
that I
tell
hated
story,
the guy's
Vicky.
food.
God, that was so funny though.
I was like, girl, she
You don't
fully
have to
bought me
roll
Meow
those things.
Mix.
You could definitely just say you like something. I just enjoy
No, it's fun though.
like leaving it
It
to
is
dice
fun.
to sort of randomize some traits and some features.
Sometimes you go to a really nice restaurant and you order something really expensive and it's
It's
awful.
fucking
It's
gross.
Like,
Yeah.
it happens. So-
I just think it's also funny that I was the only one who liked it.
Yeah, you're
like
like, "This is my
everyone
favorite
You
rolled
really
below
liked it
50.
too.
Oh, it was good.
I was like,
that.
here I am, just like, the beer is shit, but this fish is life changing.
That's so
Yeah.
funny. Last question from me. What do you guys think is gonna happen next?
Fight.
Uh,
Fight.
I feel like we're gonna fight a few people. I feel like there are
Yeah.
other people involved in this.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm curious if this person is from somebody else's past.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That was
there are notes
exactly-
on this.
yeah.
You're like, let me check my notes. And I'm like, there are notes.
There are
I
no.
can't decide if it's because
am,
we
like,
slipped up so
Looking
much.
at the,
Ooh.
Right.
I'm trying to look at the rumors and stuff, and trying to like think about like good moments to not confront people on it, but to get more
Yeah.
Right.
into him. But
Right.
all of them don't. If I did it right now, I feel like it would be too like obvious that I'm trying to investigate the rumors.
Sure.
Because they're the ones that I did receive. I will say, if I did them now, you would all be like,
Yeah.
you don't know me well enough to answer that. That's very specific for someone I just met, you know. So I'm trying to keep it in
Yeah.
my brain, but nothing.
Yeah.
I just can't do
I feel
anything
like
with
I'm
it right
getting
now.
info on mine. I'm picking things up.
I'm same. I've got a couple of them that I've been dipping my toes into a little bit.
I love it.
I just reread mine and forgot one that now is making a little bit more sense for someone in this group that I didn't clock at first.
I think
I love that we don't know, and I hate that we don't know what
Right.
everybody has. I
Yeah.
love and hate it.
I'm curious to know if we're even going to fight this person. Because
it depends what you do.
that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying is I think it depends on how the conversation goes, and I think it depends on what I say.
God, I'm
I
so
work-
ready to
what-
just play again.
What Kana says.
I don't need to
Um,
sleep.
That's the best
do it.
statement. Yeah, let's do another game.
3:20 in the morning, whatever.
Wow.
I got time. I got time.
Oh my gosh. Does anyone else have any other questions before we wrap up?
I did also want to add on the topic of what I really enjoyed about this was I really enjoy how open all of us are as players to bridge these gaps between our characters
Yeah.
and to really because again this is my first real game of Dungeons and Dragons, to have an experience where everyone is getting into the RP, where we're really trying to think about our characters and play them, while also having fun playing the story and diving into the world that Jen has set up. This has been a really awesome experience.
I'm so glad.
And so 3 episodes in, I feel part of the game and the world, and it's a lot of fun. And I feel like the more we learn, the bigger the world that Jen has made for us is starting to get. And I feel like it's already expanding so rapidly, and that's really cool as a player to have a DM that really cares. And
You
clearly
haven't even
cares,
left
and-
the town.
And it already
Yeah.
feels so like fleshed out.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm having a
This
great
is-
time. That's all I wanted to
This is
add.
the first time I also done an accent for a character.
Your character
ever.
accent is very
Oh.
consistent, and I like it.
So
It's a
good.
good
I
accent.
love it.
Mhm.
Granny
like,
I've been
wanders
trying to study
occasionally.
French
Southern
accents,
Granny.
but it's hard.
Southern Granny.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because like
I
with all my other
enjoy-
characters, it's like easy to say like, oh, common's our first language, so I could just say have like a normal, well, for me, normal accent, like a normal American accent, and just be like, oh, I could just play it up and add some like large thesaurus words in there just to throw it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But like especially when reading the Tabaxi, I'm just like they're a very and I'm saying this, hopefully it doesn't come off mean, but like they're very indigenous coded. Like you can tell they are like indigenous coded, specifically towards some part of my background, which is Hispanic indigenous coded. They have a sun god and a rain god. They don't have a sun god and a moon god. They have a sun god and a rain god and a land god. Like I was just like, okay, so I need to throw an accent in there because they are very much indigenous coded. So I was just like, I need to actually do my research this time, which I was proud of myself. Because like with my other characters, like I didn't really like look into like the background of the people, because usually like the DM will throw out my other DM will throw out that info as we go. Like I got complacent, so I was like, okay, so like they do this and this is what they believe in and
Right.
all that stuff.
No, I'm glad you're making changes. That's great.
Mhm.
We love character development in real people.
I'm happy I finally got to Hey Girl.
God, that was my
'cause
favorite
I've
thing.
known
I lost
you
it.
for so long.
When you told me
I
that that's how you were going to talk to your
Yeah.
deity, I was waiting.
Hey Girl.
Uh,
Yep.
that
I
was
have
a great
now
moment for
officially
me.
Hey Girl'd my first Hey Girl.
You did it. I'm proud of you.
Maddie, you know what that makes me think of?
What is that?
Have you ever seen Drag Race?
Of course.
It was with I forgot what the drag queen's name is. They did the bag. Lala Ree. When they went to All Stars, instead of saying "Hey God," they're like, "Hey bitch, sorry about that. Hey God."
Yes. Oh my God. So good. What do we think is going to happen? We're going to get into a
I
fight.
think it's gonna be hard to talk my way out of a
Emmy's
fight.
gonna get her
Okay.
heart broken.
Emmy's
Kanna.
breaking my
By the
heart off
dwarf,
table.
Or
Huh?
What did you say, Austin?
is it by that dwarf that you can't let go?
Did they ask about me?
He wasn't
God.
even that cute.
So good. I love it.
Listen, there are reasons for the things that I do.
I'm
I
excited.
do think we're gonna fight. I do
Okay.
think
Yeah.
it's happening.
Okay, okay.
It's gonna be tough to talk my way
Granny
out of
is
this.
not gonna wake up.
I'm very curious to see what the reason is. I mean, I know what the reason is, but I'm excited to see what you guys think about the reason.
I'm curious to find out what I write the reason to be.
Happen?
Me as a
I'm very curious
DM,
to
so-
read my notes and show the reason.
When people ask the author what the novel's going to be about, like the sequel book is going to be about, the author's like, I don't know. They're like, you're the author.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
You're writing it.
Super funny. Well,
I'm
this was
excited.
fun. I'm very excited for the next game. I hope you guys are all too. And thank you
Yes.
everyone for watching.
So.
Please leave comments and suggestions and compliments and no insults or I'll cry a lot. So, many much love. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.